Okay, hello everyone. We are here live with the VDRL Tier Friday. We are bringing you the race around Azerbaijan, the Baku city circuit. We have a full lobby of 20 people, I think, unless that's 20, if that's 20 drivers, it is 20 drivers. So we have 20 people who are going to be aiming to win on the streets of Baku. We've got our usual contenders, along with a couple of new guys who we'll get into when we move into the session. We've got the likes of Nico Sun, who I've never seen before, Red Owl King, who I've never seen before, Idealus, who I've never seen before, and a couple of others. But we will move on towards today's interesting qualifying session, which will be a full qualifying session, by the way, in a couple of seconds' time. As we move in towards the first qualifying session, let's have a look at the info that Martin has provided me in the in the chat. Oh, it's just full qualifying. I thought you'd provided me like the standings and stuff like I usually see, but I'll actually check how the standings are doing for the season so far. So since we last raced here in since we last raced in Monza, it was. I don't remember the Monza race. Actually, no, I do because it was when Toto won. Yep. So currently, Kevin Van Dijk leads the way on 44 points, and then it's another 50 points back to Hrajic in third place. Sorry, he's in the Haas instead of the Ferrari, which is where I remember him racing last time I commentated. So it seems to be pretty not done and dusted in the driver's standings, but it seems pretty. What's his name? Kevin is not going to be beating anyone. Not going to be getting beaten in this race in terms of someone getting ahead of him in the point standings. It's a bit closer in the constructors' standings. Red Bull and Mercedes. For Red Bull leading Mercedes by 37 points, and then it's another 125 points back to Aston Martin. But we're 20 seconds into this qualifying session, and no one's come out yet. It's fully dry conditions, so I don't need to worry about anything like that. Just as I said that, we have one driver just pulling out of the pit lane now. Let me just see who that is. Let me just get all my stuff up on the side so I can see for my benefit who that is. It's Snai, who's on an out lap here with 1 minute gone in the session. So we're moving towards the into the second sector on board with Snai. He can sometimes contend for midfield positions. Sometimes compete for top position for the midfield. Words English. Points is what I was trying to say. He usually competes for points. That's a tongue twister. He's finishing hard as a spun in. He's gone deep. Sorry, into turn 3. He's having to do a 5 million point turn, Mahavir Raghunathan style, to get out of one of the escape roads. As he comes back into it, so let's hope for his sake he doesn't do that again, even on his flyer. And where is Snai? He's coming through the last sector now. Let's go on board with him as he starts his lap. He's burning through the ERS at the moment. He will be about 70% when he comes up to the line. He is exceeding 200, up to 210 miles an hour on this back straight. He avoids that outside curb because sometimes you can get caught on it and it sends the car wide. Red Owl King has retired from the session. I'm not exactly sure what the reason is there. He has done it in the escape road, I think, now, unless that is a Williams. That might not have been him, actually. No, that was Werner who did that. Red Owl King has retired, I think, maybe in the pits then. I'm not sure exactly what the reason is for that, but he's decided to retire in the pits. Snai going through sector 1. We'll see how he does. He's not been the best of sectors for him, obviously. He's making a couple of little mistakes here, bumping the walls. here and there too. He's got a car in front of him. That's one of the Alfa Romeos, I think. It is the Alfa Romeo of, I think that will be Idealis. But he does get out of the way coming into the trickiest section on the circuit. The castle section. Can Snipe thread his car through without catching the inside wall? He can, but he was hesitating a lot there. Lost at least a couple of attempts because he wasn't committed enough to that inside wall as we come up towards the last sector now. Turn 15 is a very tricky corner. If you get the braking wrong, you're stuffed because there's not an easy escape road to go down. But he manages to get the braking just right, nice and conservative, nice and smooth. As we're coming towards the final braking zone and up towards the fast left-right. This used to be easy flat. Now it's a bit trickier. And he throws his way through there nicely. No drama for Snipe as he comes up to the line. Let's see what time it will be for the Alpine driver. He deploys the DRS, gives him a little bit of a boost down the straight, comes up to the line. It's 1 minute 43.2 for him there. Jix will come up to the line next and will beat that by 1.8 seconds as we expect him to. He's a very good driver, Jix is. Not sure who will be the next man to cross the start-finish line. It will be the White Panther. It goes on 1 minute 46. Hopefully for his, I think that is a cool. I think that it was a second warm-up lap rather than an actual proper race. Actual proper lap. Sorry. So next after that to cross the line is Finishing Heart. Finishing Heart goes on a 1 minute 43.8. Then Remus on a 42.2, and Epic 0112 goes on a 1 minute 42.1. So Jig's currently untouched in the 141s, but we have another Ferrari coming up to the start finish line. It's Don't Play Zero. He goes just behind his teammate in position, 7 tenths behind his teammate in terms of time though, so he'll be wanting to improve in his next lap. Joe Aha, who made his debut I think last weekend in Monza, is now powering his way to the line. Let's see what he can do. It's a 1 minute 43.8, not the best of lap times there for him, but he'll be looking to improve. Rajic, meanwhile, goes to the top of the timesheets. That's a 1 minute 40.6. That's 8 tenths quicker than Jix there, or 7 tenths really, because he's in the high 1 minute 40.6. But I didn't expect that. I thought Jix would be staying right at the top of the timesheets for now. But a great lap from Rajic there to displace Jix at the top of the timesheets. That is a statement from the Haas driver. He's been in fantastic form in the past couple of weeks, and he's continuing that record in this session as Henry Royale will come to the line. That is only a 1 minute 44.6 for him. He's going to have to improve. There's no way that's going to be a good time. As White Panther goes on a 1 minute 41.8. So he's just gone faster than his teammate Nico Sun, who went on a 1 minute 41.879 by 3 thousandths of a second. Very tight margins here in Baku. It's a 6 kilometre lap, one of the longest laps in terms of both distance and in terms of time, due to the various slow sections of circuits we have. And we still get gaps that are shorter than 3 thousandths of a second. That just proves just how tight it can be sometimes. Werner, I think, is on a flying lap, but he's on medium tyres. I'm not sure why you want to go on mediums. There's no longer the rule that says mediums, like you can start on mediums. There's no benefit to trying to use mediums in any session. Not in terms of strategy, not in terms of gimmick rules that used to be that have been in place in F1 in previous years. As the drivers file out of the pit, or file back into the pit, should I say. Most of them do anyway, file back into the pit after their first runs, but Squirter, Kalmak and Han have decided to do offset runs. They've decided to go for their out laps when everyone else is coming into the pits for their in laps. That can obviously work if you want to get a bit of extra track evolution, or if you just want to avoid traffic. And obviously with such a long track, well, it's actually quite a long track, so track congestion isn't always a problem. It's actually really often never a problem, as long as you can keep out of people's way in the perilous sections of circuit. For example, the castle section, as long as you're not holding people up through there, you'll be fine. We'll see Squirtle will be the first one of these new guys to come onto a lap in the Haas. His teammate's on pole position. I very much doubt that he'll be able to equal that record because he's not really had the same pace as Rajic throughout this rest of the season. But we will see coming towards the start-finish line if he'll be able to get into the top 10 at least. I'd assume for Squirter will be a good position. Nicely done through turn one. Not pushing any limits really, but you don't want to be trying to push limits too hard on your first run, because if you do, you look stupid. If you pin it into a barrier, he's got Kalmak behind him on a lap as well, who will keep an eye on him throughout this lap. But Squirter coming up towards turn 3 now. Brakes a bit earlier, I think. He could have pushed that braking zone a bit further, but I think he's just tried to make a banker. Don't worry about losing too much time. That was a pretty bad corner through turn 4. You need to be using all of the track on the exit of 4 if you want to really gain it. And turn 5 and 6 is a very tricky section to get right in the best of times, to be fair, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. But he's just taking it a bit slower than everyone else. It looks like he's on a nice Sunday cruise rather than an actual qualifying lap. The other drivers often seem like they are proper pelting it to the line. Like Remus, who just got into P3, who I didn't spot was on a flying lap. That's my bad. I saw him coming to the line off, so it was too late to switch over to him. But Squirter is most certainly on a lap as well, even if it's not as fast. Yellow flags in sector 2, I think that'll just be, yep, that's just Idealus letting his teammate through, making sure he doesn't get in his way. That's good from him. And Squirter will come into the final sector now. It's just a straight, basically. It's a corner, and it's a left-hander and a straight. So as long as you have good straight line speed, you'll get good times through here. As we come towards the end of this lap on board with the Haas driver. Are we going to see him go anywhere near the top 5? No, it's a 9th place position for him. And Kalmak, where will he go? Into P7 on a 1 minute 42.234. Good for number nerds. 234 right there. Han, the Mercedes driver, just had a bit of a wobble through turn 15 there. I'm not sure exactly if he's had any issues. But he's now coming through the final sector, looking very comfortable in that car as he gains speed down the back straight, down the main straight, shall I say. And up to the line he comes for the Mercedes. That's a 1 minute 40.7. Great lap time from him. He's into the top 2 positions. Obviously, you don't need to push too hard if you're one of the faster drivers, but if you're someone like Idealus, who we don't know how fast he is, he will be wanting to make an impression in this opening round. There's quite a big discrepancy between the fast guys and the slow guys, though. Rajic, that top time, is 4 seconds clear of Henry Royale, who is the current slowest time so far, as Idealus has an Aston Martin that gets out of the way conveniently for him. We still have Jerry to complete a lap, and we still have Kevin and Toto, who still haven't completed the lap as well, both of which are contenders for the win. One of them is a championship leader, and one of them is a winner in other divisions. I'm not sure if Toto has won in the Friday division this season. I often get confused between Friday and Sunday because they are very similar in their characteristics. As Idealus is coming down this back straight, we are on board with him, and or at least I hope we're on board with him, because it's Martin that controls the things, not me. But we come up towards the line, and it is a 1 minute 40.4. That is out of nowhere from the Alfa Romeo driver. We said he was a newbie, but he's definitely not someone who's going to be a slouch in this competition. That's a fantastic run from him there. Jerry is also on a lap and he's struggling, but we'll go on board with Kevin because he's next to cross the line. Let's see if Kevin can improve into the 140s. Currently making his way through the final 2 corners. Jarrell Aha has retired from the session. Not sure if he just thinks that he can't get a better lap than that, or if he just doesn't like the circuit. And for some reason, it's put him below drivers who have faster lap times, so maybe that's a glitch. And Kevin's gone top on a 1 minute 40.4, slightly faster than Idealus. Can Toto even better his own teammates? Yes, he can. He's the first driver into the 1 minute 39. 1 minute 39.9 for the Red Bull man. I am Jerry will come up to the line as well. Less fast time from him there, 1 minute 43.0. But nonetheless, that means that's an interesting dynamic then going into the next part of qualifying, because we have both the Red Bulls in top form. A new guy in our dealers up in third. Rajic and Han are also in the 1 minute 40s, but Jix, a time that was initially right at the top of the timesheet, is now 1.5 seconds clear of the current pole position time. One of the McLarens is on an outlap. But yeah, that is some serious business then from some of these drivers. Let me see who else is on the lap. Han is on one, and I think Werner is on one as well. Let's go on board with, I'll say Werner, because he's further along on the lap. He's actually driving like utter awful, tragic driving awfulness. So actually I think we're going to go on board with Han. I think that's a sensible option. The Mercedes driver making his way through the second sector, right on the edge of track limits. He's very confident with that car. He has got a bunch of cars he's coming up to though. Hopefully they will get out of the way for him, because there is a bunch of cars here and they do get out of the way. Good for them. Han is currently 2 tenths up on his lap time. Remember these top guys don't really need to worry about lap times because it is only Q1. So some drivers will forget that it's only Q1. But we come towards as Epic has rejoined the session. He may have disconnected. That's unfortunate for him. But we move towards the start-finish line on board with the Mercedes of Han up to P4. Just improving his lap time. So that's just getting acclimatized to the track conditions. Wanted to check that everything's working fine, and it is working fine for him clearly because he's able to set a fast lap time. Nico's son is on, I think a used set. I hope that's a used set for his sake anyway, as he comes towards the end of sector 2 now. Oh, over the curbs. I never like it when you go over the curbs at turn 15 because you can easily clatter into the outside barrier. One second up on his previous time. That would put him into that top 5 region if you can get a good last sector. Admittedly, it is only one braking zone, so there's not really much talent and much time to be gained in this final section of the circuit, unless he's made any setup tweaks, which I doubt he has done because of Parc Fermé restrictions. But we come up to the line with the McLaren driver, and it is a 1 minute 41.2 up to 6th place for him. Let's see who is next to cross the line. It is Don't Play Zero, who's on an outlap. Who's the next person who's to cross the line on a flyer? That is the question. I think it may be Remus, who is a second down and doesn't look like he's actually pushing. He's not pushing. Yellow flags in sector 2. That's one of the Mercedes going slowly. I assume that's just him preparing for a lap or indeed finishing one. And I think it is Han who's indeed not preparing for a lap. I think he might, yeah, he's just got fuel issues there. We have Snai, who is coming through the second sector now. The Alpine, currently on the verge of being eliminated. Obviously, Jawaha and Redeye King, Redall King, or whatever, Redeye King, will be eliminated. But 3 other drivers, I think, will also, well, definitely 3 other drivers will be eliminated. Snai could be one of them, but he's improved by 1.2 seconds on this lap. Obviously, the banker that he put in before was not competitive, at least for his standards, and he's at 1.2 seconds. That would currently put him just about into the top 10, as that is Kalmak, I think, has just gone into 8th place. He has done indeed. Snai up to the line. It is 8th place for him, replaces McCalmack in that position. Who is next across the line? Epic starts a lap, and Henry Royale is coming into the pits. McLaren is next of Nico, so I assume he'll be coming right into the pits, as Epic has retired from the session. He's retired on track. I'm not sure how legal that is. And Kalmak has also retired. He's also retired on track. I'm not sure how legal that is. But we are right in the depth of it. I haven't even seen how long we have left. We have only 20 seconds left of the session. So drivers who aren't on laps currently will not get any more in. Don't Play Zero is one of those drivers. No, he's not. He's backed off now. Remus is one of those drivers. Werner is the only guy who needs to get out of that top, bottom 5, who's actually trying to improve, which is a weird phenomenon. Usually you see all the slow guys on the track right at the end trying to improve. Werner is the only one that's trying to get out of this bottom 5 though, missing the apex into turn 3. Let's hope for his sake he can get out of this bottom pile. He'd need to get into, I'd say, he needs to get into the 143s if he wants to have any chance. As we come through the second sector now, up towards the castle, usually you can see just how good a driver is by how much they commit into the castle. Let's see how much he does commit. That was actually half decent. It wasn't the best, and then he over commits into the next part, which causes him to lose a lot of time and momentum. As you come through the second sector, this isn't a spectacular lap, I will be honest, from Werner. You can see where he loses the time. He's way too aggressive off the corners with the throttle. He's 2 times down on his 1 minute 44.3, which doesn't give me much hope. In fact, it doesn't give me any hope for this lap. I don't think he's going to improve, at least not out of the bottom positions anyway. Soft tyres won't do much for you if you're driving like an aggressive idiot. Comes up to the line, and what is it for him? It is a 1 minute 40. He doesn't improve. So I think that's Werner out of the session then in 18th place. We'll see how the eliminations work with the retired cars, because some people retired on track and that glitched and put them out of the session. So we have 6 drivers eliminated. As I said, it's glitched and put some of them out on there. Shouldn't have been. Red Hawk King in Alpine is last, followed by Henry Royale, Werner, finishing Jaro Aha, and Epic, despite having a time that would have got him easily into the next part of qualifying, it's knocked him out because he retired on track. And it's a stupid rule, but it is how the cookie crumbles, because you need to know how the game works if you're going to be able to work in qualifying too. I'm just going to go into my bathroom a second because I can hear one of my taps is running. And it's frustrating me because it's in the back. It's just ringing in my ears. So I'll be back in a couple of seconds. Hopefully no one will come out right at the start of qualifying. And I'm back. So I didn't miss anything in the 20 seconds or so I was away. But speaking of that, Squirter and a couple of others are making their way onto the track to make their runs at the start of Q2. I Am Jerry is the first car out on track. We'll see how they all get on. Obviously some surprise eliminations. Epic, probably the most surprise of all of the eliminations in Q1. So we're just waiting for everyone to file out. And now we're moving towards the middle sector on board with some of these drivers. The Hasses have now moved into the advanced positions, Rajic being the first of those. That'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Obviously was very fast in Q1, but was usurped towards the end. We'll see how that affects his performance now. Whether it was just sandbagging is a question that we could very much ask. And we'll see Rajic come on towards this back straight. He had a bit of a wobble there through the corner previous, which was a bit unusual for him. However, we'll move towards the main straight, and we'll see how he does on this lap here in due course. And yeah, so most people are actually out on circuit. Only one driver is still in the pits, that being White Panther, who's decided not to go for a run just yet anyway. Radzik has backed out. Radzik has backed out of his lap for whatever reason. That's very strange. Epic has left the session. Clearly, there's no reason to stay in the session for 8 years while the rest of the guys do qualifying. The next guy along on the list is Jix. Jix is now the first man on, or is it? Is it Squirter? It's Squirter. That's my bad. I thought it was Jix for a second there. Squirter, first man through the first sector split, and he will be making his way through this middle sector now. And now Squirter is making his way through the third sector. Radzik has retired. Radzik has crashed out in the castle section. Radzik has crashed out in the castle section, and that will completely ruin his chances of getting pole. It will mean he's got no chance of starting near the front. That's disaster for him. And now Squirter is coming across the line. He's at a 1 minute 43.7. That's going to get beaten easily by, I assume, Jix, who'll be at least 3 seconds quicker. To 1 minute 41.1. Again, not the fastest of lap times from Jix. Remus goes faster, and Han, I assume, may even go faster than him. He does. It's a 1 minute 40.9. Struggles for Jix then, who's usually really competitive. Sny's only 4th, but that's because it's Sny. And don't play zero into the 142s. Kalmak and Idealus. Idealus proving how good he was in that first session. Kalmak goes into P5 there. Kevin and Toto also on fast laps. Kevin up to P1. That's a 1 minute 40.5. So just as fast as he was in the first session is yellow flags in sector 1. That's just people letting each other through. Unfortunately for Radzik, it wasn't like that for him, as Toto comes across like 1 minute 40.2 for him there. Pretty fast lap times on the board, as Idealus, one of the better drivers in the first part of qualifying. Can he continue that form in the second part? We'll see. In the Alfa Romeo coming through the last portion of the circuit here. Barriers on either side, doesn't clip any of them. Perfectly clean from him. Comes up to the line and it's going to open the DRS. He hasn't got much straight line speed compared to everyone else, to be fair. He's not getting that straight line speed as easy, but he's still getting the times as easy. It's a 1 minute 40.3 for him. Good on him for getting that lap time. Both McLarens are on out laps. I am Jerry's still in the pits. That's a strange call from him there. Maybe he's going to go to the end. Maybe he's going to go out right at the end because he's only got... And yeah, so that is your first runs in qualifying. We've got a couple of guys still on out laps, as I said. Both McLarens. But we'll see how they filter in. So far, it's looking like it's going to be a competitive session because the real slow drivers have been taken out of contention. And I mean, Radzik's also been taken out of contention, so that will improve the racing product, seeing him trying to make his way through the pack. As the McLarens are about to start their lap. So we'll see how these McLaren boys do. Down into turn 1, White Panther was spamming down the gears and he was very aggressive, you know, on and through the corner. Turn 2, sort of the same. He's making the car a bit unbalanced by the way he's driving it. He needs to be a bit smoother through the midsection of the corner if he wants to stop the car over-rotating on the exit. Just be a bit smoother with everything he does. He's just spamming down the gears. I'm not sure how the game isn't stopping him from doing that. He is very much... Oh, he's backed off. I'm not sure why he's backed off there, but he has done so, and he's let his teammate through. That is very... That's two drivers now that have completely just backed off of fast laps without any sort of indication why. As Nico's son is on his lap, doesn't turn in too early for the castle, doesn't do a Ragic. And now coming through the second sector. Oh, White Panther went invalid. That was the... He backed off. Sorry, I didn't spot that. I didn't spot that the track had gone red. That's bad from me. We are 7 minutes left in Q2 as we come through the final sector on board of Nico's. We'll see if he can do well, as White Panther is not using ERS on most of the straight because he doesn't want to burn it out for when he actually gets onto his lap. Nico's up to P4. White Panther onto a lap. Martin, Dix has asked a question in chat, but we move towards the lap on board with White Panther. He's going through in the first sector. I don't know how the game is allowing to shift down that quickly, because usually what F1 cars nowadays have an ECU which stops the cars from over revving and ruining the gearboxes. Yes, by the way, Epic's saying in chat, why can't I drive my car? Because you retired on track, and that means that sometimes it can glitch you and put you out of a session. Just retire in the pits, mate. Or if you're going to go off and do something, just go AFK. There's no need to go AFK in the pits. There's no need to retire your car. As White Panther makes his way into the line. It's such an unnatural noise to hear. The car just spamming down the gear shift. That's why I keep mentioning it. I don't know how he's managing to do it without the gearbox just seizing up. Or just failing, in fact. Obviously, you can't have gearbox failures in online racing. Now as we come down towards the start-finish line, what will it be for the McLaren driver? It will be a pit stop because he doesn't think that time is good enough. That's ballsy. So he's got no banker time, and he's going to go into the last couple of runs without any sort of preparation. Remus is on a flyer. He's 2 tenths down on his previous time, which is a shame for him, but I assume he'll be coming into the pits at the end of this lap to try and get another lap in. Sny is currently the only person on an out lap. He's right behind Remus on track. I assume what they've tried to do there is just get ahead of everyone else and get track position of everyone else. Remus is indeed into the pits because he was unable to improve on that lap. We'll go on board with Sny then as he starts his flyer, avoiding all the traffic. Currently in P10, which is right on the verge. But obviously only 11 people have set competitive lap times. Sny has not started off his lap very well with the little snap coming off of turn 1. Understeers through turn 2, which is not going to make his day much better, I don't think. I don't think he'll be able to... Unless his first sector was absolutely awful first time round, I don't think this will be an improvement for him. As he goes deep into turn 3, nearly stuffs it into the outside wall. Through 4, does tap the outside wall. But the fact that sector was 2 tenths quicker than his previous one just proves how bad his previous sector was. He'd currently only move up 1 position though if he was to keep up. This improvement rate as he's smashed into the outside wall. That's got to be at least some wing damage, and that is surely he's going to have to come back into the pits and try and get back out again. It will be tight. I don't think he'll be able to make it. He'll have 40. Yes, he's not going to make it in and out of the pits again. So that is a shame for Sny. He's going to have to hope that the guys behind him don't improve their lap times, because there's no way he's improving, and he's off into the wall. He's lost his front wing. by going deep into turn 15, locked up the tyres with no grip in the car. He's parking it at turn 15, and he's managed to get out of the wall eventually. He's going to let all the guys behind him through. He doesn't realise that no one else apart from him was on a flying lap there. But I suppose he's just getting out of the way of them in case. That is a shame for Snai, and a big guarantee for everyone behind him. People like Squirter. Squirter still hasn't come out of the pits, so I think Squirter is content with his qualifying performance. Doesn't think he can improve. I'll tell you who does want to improve, though. I am Jerry. Hasn't set a valid lap. Neither has White Panther. So all they need to do is beat the time set by Snai on 1 minute 42.6 and hope that no one else around them improves, and they will get into Q3. Yellow flags in sector 2. That's just one of the Ferraris going slowly, and Jerry nearly understeers into the wall off the exit of turn 2. As they come in towards turn 3 after the long back straight. Let's see if he makes the same mistake. He brakes a bit earlier. I could tell he was braking a little bit earlier there to make sure he got the turn in right and didn't make a mistake. Coming through turn 4, bops the inside curve. A bit of oversteer on the exit, but overall a good first sector from Jerry. Obviously, we can't see how his improvement is on this lap because he hasn't set a lap currently. Don't Play Zero is also on a flyer. Only the top. Only for 8th and down. Sorry, I can't get my words out. Only Don't Play Zero and Calmac have gone out to try and set a lap time. Oh, and Calmac has just gone out. Calmac has just gone deep into turn 2, and he's gone out of the session. As Jerry and White Panther filter their way through this last sector. And it's another glitch which is going to put Calmac potentially out of the top 10. White Panther and Jerry. Jerry will be the first one of them to cross the line. All he needs is a 1 minute 42 point. Actually, all he needs is 1 minute 43 now because of Calmac's crash. Because of this stupid glitch where if you crash at any point, if you crash or retire on track at any point, it puts you out. And Jerry's through. And I assume White Panther will be too. We'll see coming up to the line. He's through, so the guys who were on laps don't need to worry. Don't Play Zero being one of them. And it means that Calmac, Snai and Squirter and Rajic are out of the session, are out of the qualifying session. I'm not sure how we're going to do, because Calmac should be, actually no, he shouldn't, even on previous times, he shouldn't be in Q3. I suppose it's a bit easier to talk about that then. But for the guys in Q1 who genuinely had times to get into Q2 and weren't allowed to be in Q2 because of the glitching game, that could cause some issues. It's one of the reasons, it's actually one of the reasons I don't like full qualifying, along with the fact just a lot of the time it's 2 extra sessions to just knock out a couple of knockout drivers that we already know are going to be right back of the pack. I like short qualifying sessions better because you get more racing action. We're going to move in towards Q3 soon. Don't Play Zero just making his way back into the pits, and we have an interesting set of drivers going into Q3. Two Ferraris, 2 Mercedes, 2 Red Bulls. We'll move in towards the rest of the order. Now, as I said, we've got Toto, Idealus, the new guy, Kevin, Nico-san, Han, Remus, Jix, White Panther, Jerry. I'm not sure when Jerry appeared in Q3, but he's not usually that far up the pack, and Don't Play Zero. So 2 Ferraris, like I said, 2 Red Bulls, 2 Mercedes, 1 Williams, 2 McLarens, and an Alfa Romeo. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how some of those drivers react to being knocked out of qualifying. Especially Rajic, who was going to start from P14, unless someone in Q3 gets a grid penalty of some sort. We're now moving towards Q3 at the Baku City Circuit. And I assume we'll see some drivers at least come out right at the start just to set a banker. I assume Jerry will be one of them because Jerry always likes to come out right at the start of sessions. And just as I say that, out he comes. And he's out on the circuit. Attempting to... That pit lane exit line is really skew-if. Whoever put that in the game has done a really shit job of it. Actually, quite a few drivers coming out. I thought some of them may stay in the pits. 2 of them have, or 4 of them have actually. Never mind, 3 of them. And Idealist is coming out now, so that makes only 2 drivers. 1 driver. No, sorry, 2 drivers. Idealist is coming out, and so is Don't Play Zero actually. So I think they're all going to come out to at least try and complete a lap as a banker in Q3. So we've got all 10 drivers out on circuit. 10 minutes to go. We'll see how they attempt to improve. Obviously, Jerry will be the first person to set a lap. So we will see Jerry in P1 in a Q3 session. I don't know if that'll be the first time we've seen that. By default, when he comes around to finish his lap. Obviously, on these out laps, just getting the car up to temperature, getting the tyres up to temperature, getting the brakes up to temperature, get the engine up to temperature even though in this game the engine temperatures, and obviously it doesn't really matter, but tyre temperature and brake temperature definitely does. We move towards the last sector here, and Jerry will come on to start his lap. The only Williams in this session, as there's a bit of jostling for position in the middle sector between some drivers, but we'll stay on board with Jerry to start this lap. Nicely done for turn 1, nothing special, but nothing too dangerous. As we've seen many drivers get the opposite lock off of turn 1. Jerry doesn't get any as he comes through turn 2. Just kind of amble his way through. It's very difficult to turn these heavy Formula 1 cars. They used to be a lot lighter, about 200 kilos lighter, about 10, 12 years ago, but they obviously got on a lot heavier with all the safety implements and the hybrid engines. As he gets snaky off of turn 4 and has time in the first sector, gets himself set up nicely for turn 5 and 6 as he comes through turn 7 and in towards the castle section. He doesn't do a Rajic. He does clip the inside of the barrier at the corner after the castle and then goes invalid off the exit of that little tight section there. So that will be him not setting up time. He'll come back into the pits. There's no reason he won't be able to regenerate enough ERS to go for another lap. So you'll have to either go for another cooldown lap and then go for another lap, which is stupid in my opinion, or just come into the pits and wait to go out right at the end, especially when he's not guaranteed a good result, like some of the other drivers would be if they'd have been validated their first lap. So Kevin will in fact be the first driver to cross the line and set the P1 lap time to get us going off of this qualifying session, this Q3 session, as Jerry has decided to stay out, so he will just do a cooldown lap and then go again, or he's going to try and go with a half battery, which won't work. As Kevin goes to the top with a 1 minute 39.9, 1 minute 40.5, much better lap time from him than we've seen so far. White Panther only on a 1 minute 32, but Remus goes on a 1 minute 41.1. Next up is Han, who will be on the 1 minute 40s, 1 minute 40.7 into P3, just behind his teammate. Nico's son up to P3, splitting to Mercedes, and then the other Red Bull, Toto, goes to P2. I've just received an invite from some random Donny. I don't care. I'm in the middle of a commentary. Idealist doesn't have ideas to go to the top of the timesheets. Currently looking good. It's the top of the timesheets time for Idealist in Q3, a 1 minute 39.7. I think that's the fastest time I've seen so far As Don't Play Zero also got onto the timesheets on 1 minute 42.4. So, yeah, we see. I think Jerry on a flyer? He's not. He's going to be backing off and going for another lap as he cheekily cuts turn 50 in there. He's run out of fuel. So yeah, that's why he's cutting corners. Because he's run out of fuel. So, that was the first runs. We already got 2 drivers in the 139s. Idealus being the current pole sitter. I'm not sure if we've ever had a debut pole sitter in VDRL. But it would be definitely interesting to see if we got Idealus on at least on the front row. That'd be a great achievement for him. As we see these drivers pull into the pit at the end, at the start of their, or at the end of their first runs, they're all making their way back into the pit. There's no one who's actually going to get a hoodie on themselves and to get cold where I'm sat. Right, hello everyone, I am back for the next part of this qualifying session. 2 drivers have already decided to go onto their outlaps. They do not want to dawdle and wait for the best track evolution. They want to just get out and get out with no traffic or anything. And now we move towards just Han and Remus on their outlaps, warming up the tyres. A couple of more drivers are coming out of the pits. I think that's Don't Play Zero coming out now, and I think a Mercedes potentially, or it'll be Jix because Han's already on an outlap. So a couple of contenders. Jix is really off form today for some reason. He's usually contending right at the front with the leaders, but he's all of a sudden 8/10 off the pace. I hope he'll just be able to pull it together in the last run for his sake. But we've seen a couple more drivers coming out onto the track now. In fact, only a couple left in the pits. I assume some of them will be waiting right until the end to make sure they get the best track evolution. But Remus comes towards turn 1 then. And in towards turn 2, he's got yellow flags in front because we have a gaggle of cars in front of him. As he comes through sector 1 now, he's got a couple more still to manoeuvre. In towards turn 4, nicely done. Up towards 5 and 6, the first sector split up now. He's 4/10 up, okay. That would immediately put him into the top 6, and he's lost the back end out of 6. Just as I say that, that will potentially lose him all of the time he's just gained, and off over the curb. Nearly binned it into a wall. Don't bin it here. That's the one place you don't want to bin it. We'll keep an eye on his sector 2 time, but if there's nothing improving, it's definitely not going to be an improvement after that. Pushing the car too hard, trying to make up time. And he's paid the price. He's got a car in front of him that needs to get out of the way. Oh, and he got held up there. Red Bull could not pick which side he was going to go on and got held up. That's really bad from whoever was in that Red Bull. It would have been Kevin, who is a pole contender. He could easily get a penalty for that. And now Han will be the guy we go on board with for the start of this lap. As we come towards the sector 2 split on board with him. Ooh, I do not like how bounce over that curb and still somehow don't hit the wall through the exit. 6/10 up he is, which will put him into the top 3 as we speak. It's been an absolutely amazing lap for him so far. I Am Jerry's retired. He has crashed on the back straight. He's crashed on the back straight. He was going to finish probably P10 anyway, but that's a shame to see him out this early in the session. Han up to the line. It's a 1 minute 40.1. He's 2 100ths of a second slower than Toro, which is unfortunate for him. Remus deploying ERS towards the line, but I think he's not on a fly. I don't think he's on a competitive lap. He's not. He's decided to abort that lap, and he will be at best P7 in this qualifying session. Kevin is not the guy who's he's not the guy who's coming through the last sector. That's Toto, who will be trying to make it to before the checkered flag comes out. Jix is 3/10 up on his previous lap. I said he needed to get his stuff in gear before this last run, and he's doing just that, but I'm not sure it will be enough to improve into the top 4 positions ahead of his teammate, ahead of Toto, and ahead of the top 2. He's coming up towards the start-finish line now, and will he be able to make advance in position? Yes, he will, by 11 thousandths of a second to Toto, and by 300ths of a second to his teammate. He does. Don't play 0. I don't think he's going to make any serious inroads. Only up to 8th position there for him, just behind his Ferrari teammate. Kevin Van Dijk is up a 10th. Is that going to be enough to pull him into pole position? Probably not, but it will definitely improve into consolidating that second place that he currently holds. He does go pole, actually. It's a 1 minute 39.6 for him. He goes into the provisional pole position. Can Nicholson beat him? No. Can any of the other drivers beat him? I think your best bet is probably Idealist, who's coming to the start-finish line now, but he's not on a flying lap. So Kevin is looking good for this pole position unless his teammate can beat him, because Han isn't on a flyer. Can his teammate improve and beat his lap time? We'll see as we come up towards the sector 2 split. He's 6/10 up on his lap time. That is looking good if he can just get it through this final sector. If he's running the same wings as his teammate, I think he's got it in the bag. Just nice and smooth through these last 2 corners. Nice and smooth up towards the start-finish line. We are coming up towards and see. I think we're going to see a Red Bull 1-2 here, and I think we're going to see Toro take pole position here in Baku. He does go pole position on a 1 minute 39.484. So Toro takes pole position here in Baku. Great job from him there and the Red Bull team to go 1-2 in this session. And it's the fastest time we've seen all weekend as well, and it's the fastest time we will see all weekend. What an amazing lap from Toro there, right at the end of Q3. He seemed out of it, but a 6/10 improvement from that middle sector as we've got as Joker joining me in the commentary as we head into the race. But Toro takes pole position then for today's race.
Look at my homie there, P9.
White Panther in P9, is he your friend?
Nah, he's Romanian.
Okay, he's just a compatriot. Toto takes pole position then for this race. His teammate Kevin Van Dijk alongside him in P2. Idealist, the debutant, comes home in P3. An amazing result nonetheless. I said he should have got pole position, but it's still nonetheless. Jix in 4th place, plus 666 to the pole position time. So let's hope the devil doesn't follow him in this race. Followed by Han, Nico Sun, Remus, Don't Play Zero, White Panther, and I Am Jerry crashed out before his last run. He could do his last run in qualifying free, so he will start from P10. We move in towards the main race here in Baku. 20 drivers, but only one of them can win. We're going to move towards, I assume, what will be the formation lap, and then the main race. Let's see what the weather's like. It's blue skies, not blue skies, but it is very dry for the start of this race. Okay, introduce yourself. We didn't really get a chance to at the end of qualifying.
Okay, guys. So my name is Joker, and I the third time I'm commentating on the server. I think it's the third race here on Azerbaijan, I think.
It is Azerbaijan,
Is it?
yeah.
Okay, so I think everyone will DNF. So
Yeah, I'm expecting a couple of DNFs as well. I'm expecting at least one safety, potentially two, potentially even three if people just can't stop crashing. I'm expecting at least 3 DNFs as we count down. We're going to 5 red lights. We're going to 5 red lights straight away for the Baku race here in VDRL, and we are go. And Kevin has got a decent-ish start, but he's not able to put alongside his teammate going into turn 1. Idealist being challenged by Jix as we come down in towards 2. Can Jix take that podium position away from the Alfa Romeo driver, the debutant? I don't think he can off of turn 3. They're going wheel to wheel, though, to try and see who can do it, as we see a couple of drivers fighting towards the back of the pack, but this is important for the battle for the podium. Jix gets outbraked in towards turn 3, and there's contact between the two drivers, and there's someone off in the back. Han is out! Han is out of the start. He went too deep into turn 4, and he's gone off. I'm surprised that is a virtual safety car deployed. I'm surprised I'm not a full safety car. It is a full safety car. It's transitioned to a full because the safety car is on track. The game says that the graphic is saying virtual, but there is a safety car on track, so it must be a full. There's no way it's a full.
It will be a full, but right now it's virtual safety car.
Yep, so Tono is leading still. Kevin is still second. Idealist is third off his start. And Nicoson has made up 2 positions. Jix has lost 1 because after fighting with Idealist, he lost to Nicoson. Not sure how that happened. Remus up into P6. Don't Please up to P7. Jerry up to P8. Panther stayed in the same position. Kalmak up 1. Jaro Aha up 5. So is Werner up 5. Red El King is up 6 positions from the back of the grid up to from P20 up to P14, as we do now transition to a full safety car, like I saw with the safety car on track. The big losers of that opening lap were Han, obviously, who's out of the race, Snai down 5 positions, Rajic down 2, and Epic down 4 positions as he's disconnected from the session.
Can Martin please put on P13, please? I want to see P13 because Werner has hard tires. I want to see if he wants to change the tires. No, he doesn't.
No, there's no way. The thing is, he's almost hard tires. Like if he was to change, he'd have to go end and have to make a pit stop anyway.
Yeah, but I'm thinking because medium is a lot faster. With hards on the Azerbaijan is not like very good.
I know there are some tracks.
He needs grip, so...
Yeah, Werner is a bit of a special case when it comes to drivers. He was using mediums in Q1, I think, and Q2. As we see towards... Well, obviously, we're under safety car conditions now. So I think this is time to go through, as some of the drivers have made pit stops, I think this is time to go through some interesting facts about the Azerbaijan circuit. Obviously, it's a newish track. It only came to the calendar in Formula 1 in 2016. Nico Rosberg won the first race, and it was actually the European Grand Prix, the last time that tag was used. Obviously, famously, that tag was used for races at the Nürburgring, Brands Hatch back in the 80s, and Valencia during the early 2010s, 2000s. But obviously, that the European Grand Prix tag came back for one race in 2016, and since then it's been known as the Azerbaijan. Daniel Ricciardo has won. He won the race here in 20. Did he win the race here in 2018? I think he might have done.
I
think he did.
I don't know.
I know Bottas won it in 2019, and obviously we had the chaotic race in 2017 where I think Bottas won as well. No, Bottas didn't win it in 2019. He lost a couple of laps to go because of a puncture, which gave it to Hamilton. And then obviously we didn't have it in 2020 because the virus happened. And then 2021 was when Hamilton had brake magic. 2022 was where Perez won. It was his last win of 2022. 2023, can't remember what happened. I think it was another Dorf Verstappen win.
It's insane that Perez has won a Grand Prix. What?
Red Hill King is out. Red Hill King is out. He's crashed at turn 15, I think, there.
Yes, he did.
He's crashed at turn 15. But also, since we're under the safety car, so I think it's best to get all this promotion in. If you'd like to follow the VDRL socials at VD Racing League on Instagram, YouTube, what have we got there? TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter. I just call it Twitter because I'm not a paedophile. And obviously the Discord server you can join.
I call it Y.
You call it Y. I mean, that works as well. But we've seen Calmac into the pits. So some drivers going for new strategies. Decided to go into medium tyres, newer medium tyres. I'm not sure how much newer tyres will make of a difference. But yeah, it's this is going to be an interesting race because obviously we haven't had a green flag lap yet.
Alfa Romeo is crazy because he's doing some crazy strategies right now, bro.
Calmac.
He's in safety car conditions. He just put new mediums. Damn, when all of them will go to the pits, he won't. He's crazy, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's gonna be P1.
Calmac is a good driver. He's an upper midfield. P1 is a road for him unless we get some sort of weird safety car conditions.
I hope Toro crashes. Toro, if you hear me, stop winning.
Yeah. So, I mean, I said there was going to be 3 retirements and at least 1 safety car. We've already met. We've already met the safety car requirement, and we've got 2 retirements. I'm going to increase that number to 4 now. I'd say. I think we're going to have at least 1 more because there is a phrase they use in American Open and in stock car racing called cautions breed cautions, which is because their version of a yellow flag or a safety car is a caution.
Yeah, safety car in his lap.
It is in this lap. And bunching the field back up again is just going to make them even more racy and make them want to get positions even more. Toto is obviously not going to go yet. He's not stupid, because if he does, they're going to have a massive slipstream. The rest of the guys are going to have a massive slipstream down the rest of the straight. As Idealus is not keeping right with the rest, though. He's keeping a little bit of a distance, which is strange. If I was him, I'd want to be right on the back of Kevin Van Dijk, because you want to get a good run, and I think Toto is going to go around about the DRS line here. Actually, no, he's going to move maybe the Rolex sign, because he's slowly increasing the throttle, and he goes, which allows everyone to just form off in a formation. Jerry is looking to make positions, but he's backed off in towards turn 1. There's an Alpine looking to make was Snai. Rajic up to P10 as he moves past the Alpine. There was wings being deployed in the background there as the McLaren of White Panther up the inside of Finishing Heart there for P12. Finishing Heart trying to go around the outside of Snai. Epic is losing positions because he's in AI. But we see Jao Aha, who made a lot of positions off the start, is now moving back. He's moving back through the grid after making a pit stop. As Rajic is now trying to attack Werner around the outside for P9. Williams gives him the position basically. There's an AlphaTauri, that's gone off in the background. That's Finishing Heart.
It didn't DNF. Whoa.
Yep, Finishing Heart just went deep into the turn 4 corner and had to go into the escape road, turn around, and then come back out again. He's giving Ayrton Senna nightmares there from his 1989 race as White Panther. Joe Aha into turn 7. That would have been stupid. But we move towards. We're on lap 4 of 26 here in Baku, and someone's off. That's Henry Royal. Henry Royal has crashed into the castle section. That's another safety car.
He is stupid. He is stupid.
He is indeed stupid, as Squirter gives the position back to Calmac. That's another safety car. I said cautions breed cautions, and I've been proven right because I'm always right, and I'm also really hungry.
There will be more safety cars than.
And Squirter's out as well. Squirter's gone off as well. I'm not sure what's happened to him there, but sorry to interrupt, but Squirter's gone out as well. That's 4 drivers out. That's already met my retirement goal, which is to earn £1 million. Which is to earn £1 million and put it in the head fund. But my other retirement goal was 4 race. So 4 drivers out in 4 laps. That means by the end of the race, we're going to have 26 drivers out of this race, obviously. Lazio has joined. That's the younger brother of the Italian football club Lazio. It's just probably maybe, I don't know, the Eastern European version of that because it's got a Z in. Lazio itself has got a Z in it, but maybe I was trying to be funny there and it miserably failed as Henry Royal leaves the session, and Calmac is in for his second stop of the race. It is his second. No, it's his third stop of the race. He went from mediums to hards, back to mediums, and now to softs. If you'd have told me that at the start of this race, that someone would have made 3 pit stops in the first 5 laps, I'd have probably believed you because some drivers in this league are a bit interesting when it comes to their strategies.
He likes to play with the tires. So at the end of the race, he will not have normal tires. He will have just used.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. I mean, I watched a YouTube short of someone pitting like 100 times in an oval race because going on pit lane was safer than being on the track when everyone was out, and or getting like penalties for contact. But it is interesting because obviously these safety cars are just going to keep pegging the leaders back. They can't get away from each other, obviously. We haven't had a singular green flag lap of racing. We've had not even combined. We got to turn 7, which is just over a third of the way through the lap, probably about 40% of the way through the lap. And then
what can I say?
Yeah, and then we only got to turn 3 on the original start, which was when we saw Han bin it.
Beautiful race.
Yeah, beautiful so we've only made about 70% of a lap full race distance, obviously full lap distance over the course of the race.
Jigs went for me, bro.
Yeah, Jigs didn't have the best of qualifying sessions. He was stuck in the 1 minute 41s when everyone else was in the 1, and then pulled it out towards the end. Managed to get on the second row. But yeah, the position, you can see the positions and the top guys haven't really changed much. Obviously, they've moved. Some of the guys further behind have moved up a position because of Han retiring. But Werner's still the highest gained driver, 8 positions up on his starting position. Rajak up 5 positions. To be fair, considering there's only been less than a lap's racing been done, the fact he's up 5 positions is pretty insane. And Joao Aha also at 5 positions, even though he's made a pit stop. He's in fact
crazy, bro. They're crazy. I'm telling you, when I'm saying they're crazy, they're crazy.
Yeah. As Joao Aha is the highest up guy who has pitted, as Epic's AI moves past finishing hard. I don't know why Epic. Maybe he just refused to rejoin or something like that because of his stupid qualifying position, because he did get booted out of Q2 despite having a time that was fast enough. So he got boosted out of Q1 despite having a time that was fast enough to get through to Q2 because of him retiring on track. Because that's what the game does when you do stuff like that. As we come through the casual section, hopefully no one will bin it here under safety car conditions. As Toto is going alongside the safety car. You're not Ayrton Senna, mate. Shush. As you come through here. I think we should see safety car in at the end of lap 6 here. But we'll see what happens. I think we'll see another Toro masterclass of holding people up. If we can get another lap of racing, it'll be massively helpful, because I would like to get some actual green flag action in here. I hope we'll get some in, but you can never guarantee it with VDRL, because although they seem very professional in qualifying, they're often less professional in the races. And I think the worst kamikaze safety car is in this lap. Then
race pace is 10 times more important than qualifying pace,
especially at an attritional race like Baku. That is going to ring true. And Toto is just warming up those brakes. So is Kevin. Idealist isn't, which is interesting. So he's going to have some nice toasty brakes going into turn 1. He's still holding back. I don't get why he'd back this far. because you're not going to get an advantage on the guys in front. Toto is slowly increasing that throttle input. He's not actually. As soon as I say that, he's stopped doing it and he's gone. He has gone, and that is meant that some drivers will get an advantage off of this start. But we'll see what happens as we come down towards turn 1. I can't see anyone going just yet as we come down towards the first corner, but we will see the field filter through and no collisions just yet. Fingers crossed. We will see none as Rajic and Werner battling into turn 2. Rajic eventually backs out of that one and he's being attacked by Joe Waha. But we're going to see potentially what will happen as we come down towards turn 3. White Panther on the inside of Snai and Jawaha on the inside of Rajic. So 2 by 2 as we come in towards turn 3. Jawaha does get past Rajic and White Panther keeps ahead of Snai in towards the second, coming as we come towards the second sector here in Baku. Jawaha into P10, so he's up into the top 10 positions, which is the points positions, obviously. Rajic not having the best of restarts there after having initially made it from the start. Snai moves back, lets Kalmak through, and I think he's going to just drop to the back of the field here. He doesn't seem confident at all in this race. But we have it. I think we're going to finally get our green flag that isn't broken up by a safety car as we come through the third sector here on lap 7 in Baku.
I'm surprised that no one DNF'd. It's one single lap that no one DNF'd.
Yep. That is pretty honest as Jawa has been hit by Rajic and that has spun both of them, and there's an Alfa Romeo off in the background. That's Kalmak. No safety car just yet. Don't think there'll even be a virtual, but that has been bad for Rajic there. I'm not sure if any of those 3 have damage. I think Rajic should have if he just ran straight into the back of him. But Nico's son is looking behind Jigs, and the top 3 are line astern. Kevin 3 tenths behind Toto. The Idealist 2 tenths behind Kevin. And they're now going to go onto this backstraight. Obviously no DRS in action just yet. I don't think the Red Bull boys are going to fight. Idealist has no reason.
I think the Red Bull boys will fight, and the Alfa Romeo and Mercedes will overtake them.
I think they're going to do what Mercedes used to do back in the 1950s, which was formation flying, which is try and race as close as you can to each other, so that it's hard. If you want to overtake one of them, both really hard for the guy behind to try and make a move, because if you try and go for a move on the car in front, there's a chance you might hit the car in front of him. And I mean, they are doing a good job of that, because Toto and Kevin aren't stupid. They're 2 of the fastest drivers, if not the fastest drivers on the grid. They're not going to sit here and fight us. Kevin does leave the back end though, off of the castle section, which indicates that he is pushing, which is something I wasn't expecting. But they aren't stupid. They aren't going to sit here having a massive ding-dong fight through the second sector, let everyone catch up and then get overtaken, pushing through tyre wear. Rajic and Jawaha making contact through the second sector as well as we're coming towards the last. As I said though, the leaders aren't stupid. They're there for a reason. They're there not just because they're fast, but because they're clean. As Idealus has got a bit of a run on Kevin without the DRS, so maybe he's got a bit more straight line speed in his pocket than Kevin, which will be interesting to see when DRS, obviously, because it's third lap after the safety car period. This is going to be interesting if Kevin and Toto leapfrog each other, which could be potentially what's going to happen. So yeah, I mean,
there's no very much action in the race.
Yeah, don't play Zero, and Remus have just switched positions, but I assume that's just a Ferrari in-team orders thing. I think he's just gone, Zero is faster than you. Can you confirm you understand the message, please? That is the reference to the 2010 German Grand Prix, where Alonso passed Massa through team orders. As we come towards lap 9, we are about a third of the way through this race now, but it doesn't feel like it's been a third of the way through. It's felt like it's been an arduous march, like it was for the North Koreans in the 1990s. But we move towards the third sector here, and this will be interesting because I think on pure DRS, Kevin will be able to pass. Toto, yellow flags in sector 2, never mind on that conversation. As I think that Epic, or someone has gone off through the castle section. I think it was Calmac because he has lost an end plate. I think it's interesting because Kevin, on pure DRS, should pass Toto. He's using a bit of the RS as well to try and catch up to his teammate. He should pass him, but will he? Because he doesn't want to disrupt the flow of the team. And Idealist is right behind him. Idealist is faster than Kevin in a straight line, but he's not fast enough to send a move into turn 1. Kevin does catch up to Toto, and Toto loses the back end off the turn 1, but Kevin again doesn't send it into 2. He's sensible enough not to try and disturb his teammate, at least not in natural circumstances. He's going to wait to pass him on a straight where it's easy. But Idealist is also waiting. Yellow flag. Snai is off, but we're going to wait what happens with these two leaders because Kevin is boxing Idealist in. Snai has managed to recover, no safety cars or any cautions there, but Jix has managed to catch up to this leading trio now. So it's a now leading quartet for the battle for the top position here in Baku. This is super interesting because the Red Bulls are in a dilemma here because they don't want to fight each other because obviously they'll lose time, but they also want to be able to leapfrog each other because if they don't, then they'll catch up anyway. It's a very precarious predicament for these guys because you have now a formation of 4 drivers and Nico's behind. There's no chance of catching. Now he's retired from the session after a crash at the castle section, and that's another safety car.
I cannot believe. When I'm telling you, I'm 100% sure there will be everyone will DNF. I'm 100% sure.
I mean, we have 5 drivers out in the first 10 laps. That means by maths, that will mean obviously 10 laps, so 5 drivers. So 1 driver every 2 laps, which means we've got 13 laps left, which means so we've got 16 laps left, which means 8 more drivers will retire by math, which means we'll have less than the point scoring finishers. But this also means that they're all coming into the pits. Toto into the pits, Kevin into the pits, Idealist into the pits, as Kevin has backed up the guys behind to make sure that him and the other Red Bulls don't double stack. That's interesting. Remus, I assume, is in. Don't Play Zero has stayed out, so Don't Play Zero will take the lead. Finishing Heart has come in. Rajic has come in. Jarrett, literally everyone apart from come in. So that's a bit of a dumb... Oh, and Werner has also stayed out. Werner will come out in 3rd place. So he's trying to cook up something on those hard tyres. I suppose mediums might not go to the end. Yeah, I don't know why Don't Play Zero has decided not to come in. Maybe he didn't want to get double stacked with his teammate and he's going to come in next. But yeah, we have some interesting developments here in this Baku race. Obviously, under safety car conditions now. And yeah, it is a bit of a chaotic one so far. As Calmac is also in the pit, so that's Calmac's billionth stop of the race. I wonder how many he's done so far now. Let me just double check. I think it'll be 4. Nope! He's done 5 pit stops so far. He went from mediums to hards to mediums to softs and then back to hards. Sorry, no, I got that wrong. He went on mediums on lap 1, hards on lap 2, pitted on lap 3 for another set of mediums, then went on to a set of softs on the last safety car, and now he's going to another set of mediums. As I think there's in the YouTube chat, which I will go on and see. So we're going to see a threat. So we have a couple of drivers in the chat. We do have some Dix fans here and some Friet fans, and we see a Friet because Friet South is not racing today, but we do have some Dix fans. It's a shame your driver isn't performing well and can't get a win because he's mid. But we move towards lap 11 here in why did I didn't say the Principality, not Monaco, Baku? Don't play Zero does come in. He did, in fact, not want to get into that one. Instead, he's going to lose all of his track position behind the safety car. And he's got the number 13 as well, so unlucky for some. But yeah, that will move Toto up into the lead, Werner up into P2 because obviously mediums will not make it to the end. At least I don't think so. And Idealist up into P3. Hopefully for Idealist, Werner will not get in his way. And now we move towards lap 12. We are about a third of what.
Ain't no way. I'm speechless.
Why are you speechless?
Because there's there's no action.
Yeah, it's because it's a safety car, mate. There's no action yet, is what you should be saying, because we've had we've had 3 safety cars so far, or 4 have we had now. I've lost count, man.
I don't know, bro. You're with stats.
Yeah, I know. I'm usually the one for stats and nerdy stuff, especially in real life F1. But my short-term memory is about as good as someone who got involved in the Pearl Harbor bombing. So,
me. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, you just don't know how to respond to that. But we move on towards, I assume, what will be a safety car ending this lap. Another safety car ending again. And it is in this lap. So yeah, it'll be fun to see how Werner reacts, because Werner isn't used to being up front in these races. It'll be fun to see if he does cause a problem. I hope he won't. He's not too stupid. At least by the average of this league, he's not anyway. He's dropped right back from Toto. He's bunching up. He's dropping back and then bunching up again. Don't keep doing that, mate. Otherwise, there'll be severe issues. When is Toto going to go, though? He has a teammate back in 5th, so he doesn't have the backup of his teammate anymore. That's just really strange that he's lost out there. Maybe Kevin had damage of some sort and had to replace it in the pits, but Toto has gone, and Werner's already being challenged by Idealist into turn 1, and Kevin also wants to get down there. That's way too deep from Kevin. He's binned Jix into the wall by going way too optimistic on the brakes into turn 1, and that's finishing hard on the inside of Rajic, and spin for White Panther right down the back of the pack. That has bunched this middle pack up a lot now, as White Panther forced to the back of the pack, and Jix up into P5 past Kevin, who's now into P6, and oh my god, Jerry at the inside. Oh. 2 cars into the turn 3 corner, up into P7. He goes. Everyone is sending me Jarrell to P10. Right to make a move on P9. You're just making loads of noises. Ooh.
I still don't have. I'm speechless. I 1 minute there's no action, 1 minute there's full action, 1 minute there's no action, 1 minute is safety car, 1 minute no action. You know what I'm saying?
Yellow flags in sector 2. Sorry, as Kevin has gone off. Kevin has he's been gone off in the castle section. No. Kevin has lost his front wing. Kevin is down to P15, and Kevin is out of this. At least not in terms of literal retirement, but he's not going to come back unless we have another safety car. He's got no front wing. He's flying through here as Jix moves past Werner, who's a sitting duck because he's on 12 lap old tyres.
Okay, so we have Toro on P1, so we're going to see Toro win the race, obviously. We have an Alpha Tauri.
I think Idealist has got a chance here because he's right behind him and he's not. Remus and Toro dropped back. I disagree. I don't think it's as easy as
Toro. Toro is Toro. Don't underestimate Toro.
But Idealist is new. Idealist was very fast throughout qualifying. I think you're underestimating the powers of the Alfa Romeo driver as Snide's making up a couple of positions. Kevin into the 10.
we have Remus too. So I think Remus doesn't have a very good race pace, not a good qualifying race, but he has a very good understanding about the race because in the last two races, Remus has got podium.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And he's managed to he managed to avoid the attrition here. Kevin is in the. He's going on. He does need a new set. He is not getting back. He has 13 laps to go, and he's going to be about half a minute off the back of the pack. So unless he's getting 2 seconds a lap on it, practically impossible. He's not getting in the points. Actually,
right now,
he's already gained nearly a second on the cars in front. Actually, to be fair, that is an AI that he's gaining on, so he'll move into 14th, but after that he'll be struggling to make up any more position. Idealist is right behind Toto.
single thing, the single thing that Toro needs so he can sleep good, he needs Idealist to DNF. So if Idealist doesn't DNF, I think Toro will always be extremely cautious about everything, and I don't think he will push.
Kevin's gone off again. Oh, come on. No, actually, does he have wing damage?
No, he doesn't.
Why is he... I'm not sure about that. I'm not going to say anything else, but I'm not sure about that.
Maybe she retired.
He's not retired. He's still on the track.
Epic.
It wasn't epic. It was Kevin. He was going slow at turn 7. Werner's in now. Werner's using this opportunity to pit. That's quite clever, actually. So is White Panther. He must have damage of some sort. Actually, it may have been White Panther as well. If he's coming in for damage, that may have been him, considering him and Werner are coming in together. Yeah, White Panther may have also been involved in that virtual safety car.
Kevin still doesn't have a chance.
Yeah. He's got even less of a chance now because he's had less lap time. Yeah. We need a safety car if we want Kevin to bunch right back up to the pack again. Snipe has command face again.
I don't know if there are any safety cars left. I know the 3 is max. So
That's why the maximum is 5.
well, depends. You can set it.
Yeah. Safety car. Virtual safety cars come in now. I don't think I've never seen it in the long set how many safety cars there can be.
He's doing the smart thing right now, but he's not helping him because he's on P14. He put it soft on, and he can remain on soft till the end of the race if he pushes a little bit, even if he's a little cautious. But he can't. He's losing. He's not gaining. No. Whoa.
Yeah, we'll see. But what we will see is a battle for the lead here because Idealist is going past Toro for this race lead. He will lead lap 15. Lap 15
the first time we see someone leading the race and it's not Toro or a Red Bull. Yay!
Yeah. Rajic up to P5 and another caution in sector 2 because that's Snyoff. Snyoff's gone off at turn 15 and he will get back onto the circuit safely enough. There's no more caution for that. But we will move back towards the action. And just how you were saying he was clever for going on the soft tyres, he's now not clever because he's gone off.
He's an Alpine driver, so...
Yeah, Alpine. Not known for having the best cars, especially not this year. Jawaha.
Best tractors.
Yep. He checked up through turn 4 there and nearly caused the guys behind him to have a major collision.
Whoa, and Idealist. Whoa, Toro is not gaining.
That is especially relevant because Idealist has more straight line speed, which means he has less downforce, and yet he's still gaining in the corners. Actually, now
Toro has more speed in the straights.
No, I saw before, like he had a high speed. Idealist had a
but Idealist has. Yeah, but he had batteries.
Yeah. No, he wasn't deploying the ERS at the start of the race. I'll tell you he wasn't.
Look how fast is Toro.
Yeah, because he just used ERS rather than. and they're slipstreaming each other. And it's ideal as it's going to happen. So 2 lead changes in the space of like 500 meters, and Ideal's back into the lead with fastest lap. Rum indeed. You can just do the DJ for the VDRL League. Host some raves.
Yeah.
Don't play Zero overtaking Jawaha for 8th place. And I think Jawaha might try and go for a switchback into, not a switchback, just another move into turn 1. Doesn't make the corner stick though. Toro still right behind. Talmac passes Jawaha. As they're all battling. Oh, this is going to be interesting. These
P1,
three drivers.
P1.
There's not really a battle for P1 going on, but now Jawaha is trying to fit it through the middle.
What?
Talmac can go to 0. He just about fits through as Talmac makes his way into P8. They're battling over the wooden spoon of the last point positions, but it's still great racing. The fact they went 3 wide to that and didn't just blow up each other just shows how ballsy fucking Jawaha is. I was like, are you really going to go through the middle there? You don't just go to the inside like a normal person would, but then again, Jawaha is far but normal.
Nah, bro, Jawa is Jawa.
Yeah.
So Toro is still behind Idealist, and Idealist still has more battery than Toro.
Yep. He's playing the waiting game.
They have almost the same things. The single things that different is the setup. Everything is the same.
And
we
the
have
slipstream.
Toro with it.
Yeah, the slipstream and DRS, that's a slam dunk overtake. This is why DRS is stupid at some tracks and needs to be replaced with a push to pass system like they have in the car.
Stupid. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. Toro is again in P1 like always. Damn, bro, I'm so sad, bro. I'm going to see Red Bull every time in P1, bro.
Well, actually, you say as always. If we look at the standings, as I quickly delay my speech to try and get them up because I've not timed this well at all, we are going to see. Let me just find the tier Friday.
Yeah,
standings.
but I'm saying the last week and the last week and this week, I will see Toro P1 every time. Oh, caution.
Oh, Snyder's retired. He's crashed off in the last corner. He's crashed off at to the right-hander kink, and there's no safety car. That's a surprise. Maybe
Yeah,
we
I
have
think it was the limit, I think. I think the single thing that will happen probably will be red flag, but if 2 or 3 cars crash at the same time. At the same time.
As Snyder's left, he's unhappy with the race, obviously. I mean, if you retire, you're not going to be happy with it. Unless your name is Nelson Pico.
Okay, so Idealist is not catching Toro. So Idealist is not catching Toro.
That's strange because he was faster in the straights before, but now he's obviously not. That's really strange.
Oh.
Maybe it was just because he was faster than Kevin because he was behind. And maybe Kevin
Scanning. He will not overtake him. Whoa.
Not on the straight, but he might on the next one.
No, I don't think so. I think Toro timed it very good.
He's not going to use ELS, he'll probably wait for the long back straight again. He's pulling out of the slipstream, there's no way he's trying to move into turn. So he's pulling out of the slipstream on purpose so he doesn't gain. Jawaha into the pits. I don't know why you do that. Those tyres are going to easily go to the end, unless he's got damage. Yellow flags are to 1. Kalmac has gone off. Kalmac has hit the wall. That's another caution. Soft tyres going on for Jawaha, and yes, he did in fact have wing damage.
Bro, this race is crazy. Everyone always crashed once. Even Toro swept the barrier one time. A little bit, even Toro, and we know Toro is a master, so we need to learn from him and from Neto.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I'm not as good as these guys. I can tell you that for certain.
Yeah, well, you're beautiful.
Maybe if it was Monaco, I would top 3% in the world at Monaco, but I'm not good at. But
yeah, but you're beautiful.
Okay, I'll take that as a compliment. Okay.
Nah, yeah, go on.
Oh, he's saying I'm not.
Hey,
So
by the way, I'm not
he's saying
gay.
I'm not beautiful then.
No, you're
Wow.
beautiful, but I don't like you.
Wow.
No, you're
Leading me
ugly,
on
bro.
there.
I'm joking.
As we see our dear left, he's looking to the inside, but I don't think he'll send the move. He's not stupid.
She's not like you.
Right. Well, that's just bullying.
No, in Romania, that's a normal speech.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that are normal in Romania that aren't anywhere. Like waking up in the morning and finding your car that's been placed on cinder blocks because the wheels have been stolen.
What's that? What's bad about that, bro? You have a new
What's
set of
bad
tires.
about that? Let's finishing half.
You have a new you have a new set of tires.
No, you don't have a new. You have no sets of tires. You like.
No, you have the bricks.
Yeah, but fucking Calmac has stolen all the tires because he's too busy making 8,000 pickups. As
No,
you see,
bro,
Jerry,
it's a very good exchange. A set of tires for 8 blocks, bro. For 8, well, I think blocks. Yeah, I think blocks.
yeah,
Cinder blocks.
cinder blocks, average communism moment.
Bro, what do you have with communism, bro? If you go to Romania and say communism, you're gonna be dead in 5 minutes.
I was gonna say, it's the aftermath of communism is what I meant. Anyway,
Trăiască trăiască Ceaușescu.
I don't know what that means, but I'm not going to say I agree. Stupid. The amount of times I've said I agree to things in foreign language.
Okay, so if you agreed with that, it's a very good thing. So I'm proud of you.
Okay. This is where I'd flex my Spanish, but I can't.
Yeah, flex my bro. I'm Spanish too. Flex your Spanish, bro.
Piss off, you stop being better than me. Stop one-upping me in every single way.
Nah, bro. You are better at commentating.
Yeah, because you just do fucking sound effects. Neomas. Speaking of idealist Neoms past Toro. Exactly.
Bro, I'm doing sound effects for sound effects.
Yeah, you have a DJ Khaled of League Racing commentary.
Yeah, bro. I'm Alan Walker.
Except you're not an inbred bellend who doesn't know what they're talking. Fucking NASCAR looking at you see when he tried to do for the Martin. Basically, he did a thing with Aston Martin where he was like, "Oh, I'm going to change a tire," and he acted like, you know how NASCAR 5 lug nuts, like 5 little nuts on the wheels. He acted like it was that, and he was like, it was
What?
stupid. I'll send it after race. I'm not describing it very well at all. If you don't know what NASCAR is or lug nuts are, then I understand. But
What's Blood talking about, guys? I think he didn't take his pills.
no, I did take my pills, my Viagra pills.
Yeah, well, okay. So we have Toro being Toro for a Toro lap. I think Toro will catch up Toro in like 5 seconds of Toro time, and Toro is faster in the straight. Toro is faster than you.
Do you want to say Toro anymore?
Well, you know, Toro is going to win Toro Trophy because he's Toro. Toro.
So I didn't realize you started speaking in Spanish and you were calling it a churro.
Yeah, I love churros, guys. But not the ones that are like with sugar. I like the one with Nutella.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, but when you buy them test churros, like if you show up to a Spanish, punch you in the.
Bro, I didn't hear
the ones I had in Gran Canaria were really nice. Salty rather than
Where?
really nice.
Where in Canada?
Gran Canaria is a place in Spain.
Oh,
you know.
yeah. I want you
Martin's
to
gonna be pissed off and we just talk about fucking food in the middle of a fucking league race stream.
Bro, I'm hungry, guys. I'm sorry.
I was
Giroa retired. Bro, what happened to Giroa? Giroa had a crash with.
Back to turn 1.
No, he had a crash with the Ferrari. He had a crash with a Ferrari.
Yeah, he had a crash at turn 1. I saw his dead car on the exit corner. I mean, it's actually so bad though. There's a limit on the amount of safety. So shit because it might have improved the race.
Smelling like that?
Werner's out as well now. He's gone off at turn 1.
Bro, I'm telling you, after in lap 25, everyone will finish in the points.
Pretty much.
But you see, Kevin went from P14 to P10.
Yes, because of all the people retiring.
Yes.
And now
what is happening, guys?
What? What do you mean?
Bro, did you hear me?
No.
Okay, I hope you didn't.
Good. Anyway, Idealus is still chasing on the back of Toto. He's got the DRS open. He's not going to go from that corner, but he has 4 laps still to go. He's still got 3.5 laps just to try and make a move, at least at some point. If I was him, like, stop taking the COVID test in the middle of a fucking commentary.
No. I think Idealus would be smarter if he would keep his batteries, regain his batteries, still be in like 5/10 of second with Toro, and in the last lap, like push left.
Yeah,
no,
I
lap
agree
4.
completely.
In lap 24. No, in lap 25 or 4, because Toro will not have time to regain. He needs to use his battery. But
I mean, he only has 10% more. Toro's not going to use his battery. He's not stupid to use his battery now.
Bro, he's racing for a Red Bull. What do you mean he's not stupid?
I don't get what your logic is there.
Okay, Virgil Van Maguire.
Yellow flag. Again, this time it's Don't Play Zero who's gone deep at turn 4. He's going to have to do a Ragunathan, flick it round. Oh, he's going to have to do it, yeah. 3-point turn. Fun.
That's the move in 3 moves.
Yeah, 3-point turn. That's what they call it. Yeah, there's clouds above the circuit, but I don't think we're going to get any rain. If we do get any rain, it'll be fucking interesting because people are crashing out in the dry. Never mind.
I would think you would be rain, but after the race.
Like it is in every single race.
Yeah. Bro, you can see everyone has 12 or 13 laps on hard, almost everyone, because there's some rebels. But I see Rajic in P4.
Rajic is in P4.
I see Jigs in P3. So the podium, it's kinda already made.
Yeah.
But we'll see if Ideal stays P1 or remains on P2. Because we want to see Churro DNF. We want to see that.
I just want to see chaos. I don't really care what happens as long as it's. I won't tell you.
Kevin lost.
Kevin's gaining on a. Sorry, Kevin's gaining. Oh my God.
Yeah,
well,
good position. Kevin is packing.
He's packing. I'm not sure you know how.
I know what that means.
Brilliant.
I know what that means.
So. Now, Idealus is trying to get into a good DRS range of Toto because he's burning some of that ERS. He's burning some of it, and he's now going to get level with the Red Bull drive. This is really interesting. Now level completely on DRS, on ERS, going on to the last 2 laps. That's going to throw a spanner into the works. He's surely going to try and get past going on to this lap. He's just going to try and throw Toro off his guard. I think Kevin's also going to try and get past Kalmak at some point because Kalmak is not on the same level as him.
So, Kevin Van Maguire is trying to go in P9. He wants more points. He's leading the Cheer Friday by a big margin. I think the single percent that still has a chance of overtaking Kevin Van Maguire in the championship is Jigs. But Jigs kinda always gets P3 or P4. Always.
Yep. I think Kevin's going to make the move finally on this straight. He's using all his ERS.
Kevin,
even then he's struggling. Even then he's struggling. So it was in fact Kevin who was much slower than Idealus.
Kevin Van Maguire.
So
And a switchback. Nah, bro, sit down.
that's a Red Bull leading a Toro Rosso. Sorry, a Red Bull leading a Vector, and a Red Bull leading an Alfa Romeo in 9th and 10th.
Bro, read the chat fast. Read the chat fast.
Read the chat. All I see is Neto confirmed communist.
You like communism?
No, believe it or not. I love it. No.
Okay, bro, come to Romania, bro.
Yeah, I will. But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what we will do. We'll go on to the last lap here with Toto and Idealist, and Idealist has bottled it. He's got 10% less ERS and he's 7 tenths behind. He's proper bottled it. Unless he manages to drag race Toto to the line, he's genuinely stuffed this, I think.
Now, if Idealist does something smart, he's probably going to do something smart because Idealist, it's very smart because his name is Idea. So.
Yeah, but it's also got less in it. It's got less as in like Idealess.
But yeah, but he has 007, so.
So he's Jadon Sancho at Man United.
No, he's not. Sancho is not at Man United, bro.
He used to be when he was at Man United. I mean,
he's a Dortmund.
I know what I'm saying. Anthony, another great footballer.
Nah. Messi or Ronaldo.
Those go to the mainstream characters.
Be careful with the words, Kevin. Messi or Ronaldo.
Neither.
Pick one.
Neither. Modric.
Iniesta better, bro.
No, Georgie Hadji.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, that's what I want to hear. George
and someone else has gone off.
Whoa.
That's I am Jerry going off.
Or I'm stupid. I'm not.
We're gonna have a drag race to the line, I think here. Toto and Idealist will both be spamming the CRS button. I think Toto's got it there.
Toro got it in the bag. Toro is winning again and again and again and again and again and again and again.
DRS open for Idealist, and it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be nowhere near enough. He bottled it to the race win. The gap was less than 2 tenths in the end, and second place on his debut is very good. But Toto did win this pretty comfortably. He was never really
when we're going to see you in P1 in your debut? When?
Well, I've already made my debut. I think I've already done a race in this. Jix is in P4. Oh. Rajic takes on P4 after starting P14. That's a very... Remus is retired. He's binned it at turn 13, so that's another driver out. Remus up in P5. Finishing Hart in P6.
So everyone finished in the points, because I'm not counting Epic, because he's a bot.
Yeah, he's an AI. I assume there's rules saying that. Calmac in P9 in the end. So Kevin finishes P8 after his escapades earlier on. Don't Play Zero will finish in P10. Even if he crashes. Actually, no, because Jerry will still be counted in 11th place because he DNF with 90% of the race distance covered. Because that's a rule. You're still classified if you cover 90% race distance.
Yeah. What you say? You say what? Yeah. Right. George Hadji or Georgi Hadji?
I always thought it was called Georgie or whatever, Georgie. But if you're Romanian, George, I'm not going to contest.
With a hash.
See, this is why all Eastern European languages should be turned into one big language. Much easier.
No, bro. Romania. Romania is the most beautiful. One of the most beautiful languages because it's a Latin language. It's not a Slavic. So.
Anyway, we're seeing the podium celebrations take
Toro,
place.
it's a Giga Chat in P1. We have Blackman. And we have P2 Idealist and P3 another Blackman. I think Jigs is going to take the championship because Kevin has bottled it 2 times in a row. What do you think about that?
I think that Kevin can still get it in order. He's still got plenty of races. It's not like he's got no races left.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Toto did win.
Yeah.
Idealist did come second. Jix did come third. I think Magic put in an amazing go from it. He's my driver today, I think, to go from P4 to P14 to P4. Then Remus, finishing Hart.
It's nice the best.
Kevin, McCallum, and then plays are in the points. I am Jerry should take 11th. But yeah, I think because obviously finishing Hart gained the most position, but a lot of those positions he gained because of the people out. Rajic managed to make lots of positions out on track and did a good job. He finished in P4, which is good enough for a thing like that. Anyway, we're going to move on to the interviews now. Hopefully we'll get everyone in right now. And we have Jix and Toro. Are we going to go to
Hi, Toro.
Are we going to go to Jix first because he said he had to go early anyway?
Going for the milk. Yeah. So, Toro, I have some questions for you.
We're going to go to Jix, mate. Because I think he said he had to leave quite. He had to leave before. He had to leave quite early. Unless we're gonna, because who is still? We're missing one of the drivers, aren't we? Let me just see.
It's Idealist.
Yes, we need that. Maybe he doesn't know. Here is this him? Is this him? Right. I think with that we can move in towards the interviews that I will conduct. So we'll move and start with Jix, our first. How was the race from your perspective? Because obviously you weren't really touching the leading drivers, at least not at least before the start. Because obviously you had a bit of the start where you did. How was it from your perspective, falling away from that lead pack and then finishing in a kind of obsolete third place?
Yeah, for me it was a good race. At the beginning I was, a little bit, leaving a gap, and I was not on the pace though, so it was hard for me. But yeah, I managed to go. I was just growing in the race, and yeah, that was okay for me, I guess. P3 was the most I could have got, I think. At the end, I think I was quicker than the guys before me, but with the DRS that they got, I couldn't catch. So yeah.
Yeah. Second question. Obviously, your teammate Han retired on the opening lap. Did that put a downer on any of your predictions? And did you, obviously, with the later attrition that we saw throughout the race, where we only had about 11 cars, I think it was, actually finish the race with our own steam? Did that play on your mind at all? And were you just trying to keep it out of the walls?
In qualifying, definitely. I was just trying to drive safe laps, and at the end I couldn't. I didn't have the lap that I got, but would have got. But yeah, in the race it was just to drive clean, consistent laps, just growing into the race. And at the end, I think the last 8 laps, I was just flat out, just drive. Maybe I hit the wall, but I wanted more points or try to catch the lead. But I think 4 laps before the end, I thought, okay, good points to Kevin, so just drive consistently. And I managed to do that.
That's actually a very good point. You now catch, obviously, with Kevin having his less than expected 8th place result. Do you think now, with him having made some mistakes in the previous 2 races and you making those consistent results, do you think you have more of a chance at the title than you've maybe thought you did a couple of races ago?
Yeah, definitely. I think when last race happened, when I crashed in Italy, and he managed to score big points, I thought it was over, to be honest. But with this result, it closes a little bit. But I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes high up, but I'm definitely gonna try to win every race or check more points to score more points than Kevin. So I will hope to do that.
I think that concludes our questions for you, Jix. So I think we're going
Yeah,
to move
thank you.
to our I think we're going to move to our second place man now. Idealless. Obviously, coming here on your debut, you've come out here out of nowhere, and I was like, in qualifying, I was expecting you to just be kind of mid-pack or an anonymous driver, and then you qualify near the front and run near the front the entire race. You're the only person to really challenge Toro. How was the race from your perspective, and were you expecting to have such a good result?
Yes, first of all, it was a great debut for me. I didn't expect that I would have such a good pace. So it wasn't. I also expected like to finish P10 or something. So because I didn't know the drivers in this league, but yeah, very good race. Yeah.
Yeah, did your lack of experience when competing with some of these other drivers, because obviously some drivers have a reputation for being aggressive or cautious, did that play on your mind at all? Were you a bit more cautious with some drivers than just in general because you didn't? Because especially on an atrocious track like Baku, it's hard to sometimes know when someone's going to back out or when someone's going to go for a move.
Yeah, I I would say it was a little bit annoying that safety car came out for 3 times. Um, but I didn't have many drivers behind me, just in front of me. So I just could watch the race behind and attack when I got a opportunity.
Yeah. And last question: are you happy with how you performed? Do you think that you could maybe get a win before the season's end, and you could get a win in your rookie kind of half season?
Yeah, I'm very happy with that result. I don't know how many races are left in the season, but I think I could win 1 or 2 races.
Okay, I think that concludes our questions for you. And now we move on to our race winner, Toro. That was a fairly not dominant performance because obviously there were drivers who kept with you for different portions of the race, but you were the ever-present figure up front through all the safety cars, through all the people going off. How was it from your perspective, just leading from the front and not really falling back from that position?
Um, I was just trying to be P1, but with Kevin, of course, who was P2 before the first safety car. He tried to keep the cars behind, don't double stack, but he still lost some positions, which is not ideal. But yeah, it was a very, very nice result because I did a mistake in Italy, so yeah, I lost hope in Sunday. But yeah, after this race, I know that I am still a very good driver.
Yeah, do you think you could make some more positions in the Drivers' Championship then and help Red Bull to win the Constructors' Championship with these consistent results you're putting in?
I mean, maybe, but yeah, everything is possible there.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think of another question to ask. Now, are you impressed with Idealus's debut, and do you think that he could be a threat in future seasons going forward to the Red Bull dominance and the or Red Bull and Mercedes kind of stranglehold that we have in the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's a very fast driver, so yeah, of course.
And this actually could be a bit of a juicy question. Do you think Red Bull might try and sign him in the near future if we got some inside information?
Maybe, I don't know. Everything is possible, as I said.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So I think that concludes today's interviews for the VDRL Tier Friday Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I hope you all enjoyed everything that's gone on today. It was a chaotic race. It was a fun one. It was some heartbreak for some joy and elation for others. We hope you'll join us next Friday for the Tier Friday, but we'll obviously be back for Tier Saturday and Sunday. So I hope you all enjoy. I've been Nedzo, and I'll see you all later. If Joker wants to say his byes, and if anyone else wants to say their byes, they can now.
Bye guys. See you later. See you tomorrow.